对，真的一下子爆。
那接下来我们进入议课的阶段。那在这个阶段呢，我们就是请大家就是给我们回馈，让我们可以呢在我们现在的基础上来进行改进。那我们今天来到现场的有3位考试委员。那我们是先由我们佩授老师开始，还是先由我们秘书长开始？先从授课老师。好的，那我们是不是一个学校一个代表就好？好，然后
我们授课老师。
我们授课老师先。好，来，那我们 Teacher Grace。这上次的高题目。
What did I say? Well, thank you for being there, and I am looking forward to getting positive feedback we're looking forward to some positive feedback as we aim to improve. This is my first year teaching here at this school in Taiwan. And I love art, but most importantly, I love teaching. I love being in the classroom with the students. And in this short time I'm here, I've learned to love the children of this school and the teachers. Whatever you see here is a teamwork. The administration along with the teachers, they're very supportive when it comes to, from the beginning, the first phase, the planning. They're all involved in it. We think on ways of how to actively engage the children, meeting our objectives, but at the same time that they have as much interaction as possible, so that they can have the English language used in the classroom. And not only inside the classroom, outside too. If we walk around, we talk to them in English. We try our best to have as much English in school as the community is. When it comes to the lesson, it was my first time giving such a short lesson. I was rushing, I felt a little nervous. My students were nervous. They normally participate. They would be a little more active and participate, especially when it's speaking up. Even if it's in Chinese, they would say, and Teacher Bunny would just translate, and we have a very active participation. That is for most of our babies. Well, the lesson was designed in a way that I just simply scaffolded. I just guided our students through the different activities, and the outcome should have been an visual art, since that is our focus. Students are supposed to create something for art. As you can see at the back, that is some of our work that we have done previously, along with the teachers, and we're looking forward for better lessons and more engagement. Thank you.
那我们是请协同老师也针对刚刚的课程也来对今天的教学做些看法。
校长、主任、各位老师好。我是今天的协同老师朱老师。那今天Teacher Grace 在上课的过程当中，确实稍微就是有些紧张一点点的，就是很重视今天这一场活动。那平时我们在课堂上的状况是比较轻松一点点的，那小朋友在应对的过程当中，可能因为平常教室里面没有这么多的大人们，孩子们的发言，然后跟回馈是比较多的，然后也是比较就是非常有创意，然后很有想象力的一些回答。对对，那今天小朋友可能稍微略显紧张一点点。对，那他平常我很谢谢 Grace 老师，因为 Grace 老师他给我们学校，然后还有给我们班上的小朋友有非常多 给我们非常多创作的空间，没有局限住小朋友的想象力，然后给小朋友很多发挥的空间，然后去完成他们每一个作品。然后觉得谢谢Grace老师给我们的这些教学，对，是这样子，谢谢。
谢谢我们陈华老师。那接下来，我们是请我们各个学校今天来观课的老师，然后就是我们就以外事为主喽，好，给我们一些意见。然后我们就首先欢迎我们从竹围国小来的 Tendo 老师。Tendo 老师。
Good afternoon, everyone. Teacher Grace, and I forgot your name. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed your class. It was a good lesson. I think the students could easily get what is the objective or what is expected of them from the warm-up. Yeah, so the activity from the warm-up, I really like it when they watch the video and they could listen and also observe the wrong and right from the warm-up activity, and the use of affirmations from them. They know what is right and what is wrong. You encourage them by saying put tackle your shoulder by doing a good job. That is a very good strategy. I think I would also apply this on my lessons. And the activities that you use, they know the items by names, by the materials, the glass cans, metals, and paper. And they know that they have to sort the trash according to the recycled trash can or trash bin. And also they can mention or tell the things they can use from the recycle or from the trash. They know that they can use that trash to store things, or they can use that trash to maybe create a toy from that trash. So I think the lesson was very, very good. I enjoyed it. And I'm really surprised the grade students speak very well, confidently, so good job.
接下来我们就请我们的齐春娟老师。
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, congratulations to Teacher Grace for doing a really wonderful job teaching. I think the plan or the topic itself is really interesting. I'm not teaching arts, but I feel like watching and observing you teach makes me want to teach art. Makes me want to learn. You know. All the activities and tasks were chosen carefully. That connects to the main objective of the lesson. These are some things that I've observed and I think I love about your lesson. First, I like how you presented the video, and instead of just watching the video and finishing watching, you gave your side comments. You reacted. Well, you gave your comments, like you're really you're with the video, not just on the side, just waiting for the video to finish. I think that's a good way to, it's a good way of teaching. Okay. And also one thing I love is how you use the ball. The children automatically know that there will be question and answer portion, and how they questioning doesn't feel stressful for them, doesn't make them scared, right? Because they feel like it's fun, right? Because who wants to catch the ball, and then whoever wants to catch the ball, wants to answer it now. So it makes it more fun. And also, one student wasn't able to answer, but the girl wasn't able to get the correct answer for which picture is the reduced picture, and you gave her a chance instead of just choosing other students to help her. So I think that's a good way of also making students learn or giving chance to students who didn't make it or didn't choose the right answers. Next is also the PACT strategy. I love it, and it's another way of not just clapping, the traditional way. During the activity, these are just some small details that I noticed, but if you look at it in a deeper sense, it makes it. It gives so much impact. Like, okay, everybody, all the trash that you don't need, please put it inside the tray. That simple way instruction to the students reflects. Is also one way of teaching them that I'm not just teaching, I'm also doing or practicing what I'm teaching. So we're also doing that, not just discussing or teaching the students the topic. What I think the picture, the reduce, reuse, recycle, sorting game, I think it could have been faster if the students will be given a timer, maybe. Let's say set the timer like, okay, everybody must finish this in 30 minutes or in 2 minutes, so they'll be conscious of how they work on finishing their work. But that was really good. The last activity I noticed is it was beautiful. There was not enough time to finish it. I think all the activities, there were a lot of activities that need to be compressed in 40 minutes. That makes it, and you were rushing at the end. But I think it was beautiful. It's still beautifully ended. I love how you ended with a song that they know. So that's all. Thank you. Great job.
Teacher Jenny.
Yeah, I agree with everyone here so far. I enjoyed the balance of individual and the teamwork, so there was a nice balance there. Good practice of using prior vocabulary like animals and shapes, and good use of motor skills. And visuals, you had great visuals as well. The activities were related to the subjects, so that was really good to link that. I really enjoyed the second activity because it gave them a chance to really just think outside of the box. How would you use this? How could this be used? So I like that. And good repetition of vocabulary words that they were learning. I only had 2 things that I wasn't quite sure. I mean, I noticed that some of them had difficulty cutting. Once you kept folding, I kept thinking, oh, they're going to be able to cut this. I'm not sure because I have grade 2 as well. So I'm aware of, their capabilities. And I know that you're doing the 3 R's, and I thought it was going to focus a little bit more on just reuse. I'm also doing that at this time, and I find some of my students, I broke it up just because if I put it together, they seem to get confused because of all the re words. So just something to think about, but overall, fantastic job. Good job.
不知道我们现场是不是就请我们访视委员，先从我们的推手教师。
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Grace. That was a wonderful class. And I can tell that the students are pretty enjoying your class, and the interactions between you and the students are pretty natural. They know what you're going to do, and they know what are they going to do. And I really like the way you conduct the lessons, use a lot of hands-on activities, and they can first of all sort the things into the charts, the T-charts, and then maybe you gave them a lot of visual aids so that the students can easily get into the topic and understand the learning objectives are. But there are some suggestions I would like to give. But before that, I have a questions for you because I really like how you ask the whole students to have the group discussion. But looks like I'm not quite sure if they are really familiar with doing that really often. Because when you say, you tell the students, let's have the group discussion, and maybe you can discuss with your group teammates and then say, this is how you work and this is what you made this for. Something like that, you have the series of the questions on the board. But looks like they are not really quite sure what they are going to do, or they kind of like look at each other and then say, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now. So that was my question. How often or how familiar they are to do the group discussion during the class?
We started out, when I first started off with them, I used the strategy I normally use in my group. I have used before, because of classroom management. I first do single, then pair, and then groups. So we've just started off group work, like the beginning of this semester. We just started group work, so they are just getting familiar with that, with their colors and what they're expected to do. They all have the little faces because as they finish a task, the group leader goes and they put a face on the board. If you notice, there were different colors for the groups, and they went, and at the end of the lesson, they were supposed to have the more colors they have and more faces they have, the better for them. So it's a starting process. I'm not giving up. I am starting with them. I have encouraged them, even if it's in Chinese, and then it's only one of Miss Bonnie, and I don't understand anything in Chinese. So say it. Even if Teacher Grace doesn't understand, say it. Miss Bonnie will help me, and I will understand what you're trying to say. So it's just a start of the thing.
Okay, that's what I figured. So if I were you, because this is a right path of the teaching way. So I would suggest you maybe at the beginning you tell the students these are the questions you need to discuss when we are doing the group discussion. So maybe you can read all the questions you put on board to all the students. Say now maybe you can do question by question because that's just the beginning of the process of group discussion training. So maybe start from one question instead of doing the 10 questions to them. So they will know what they are going to do, and maybe you add on more questions later in your other classes. That would be more effective, I figured. Okay, that's the thing. And then I would like to suggest that the preparation of the class, because as Teacher Jenna said, there are some students really struggled with cutting, and I figured that maybe probably because of the selections of the paper types. Yeah, so some papers are hard to cut, especially when you fold it many times, and they were very, very hard to cut. So that probably is one thing you can think before you conduct this into your class, the selections of the paper type, and then maybe because you want the students to sort the pictures into the T-chart. So maybe put the tape first behind the paper, and then the students can easily sort it and don't waste a lot of time on it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I only have 3 minutes, okay? So it's a very happy class, so as Professor usually says, okay, Professor Chen. He says the key to a successful bilingual class is teachers who are willing to engage their students. I think you have managed that very well. And the reason why we are having this bilingual class on top of English class that we already have is that we are trying to create the English environment for our students. Okay, we seldom have the chance to use English in Taiwan. So that's why we have this kind of bilingual class to help our students use English. Okay, So if for English class, we don't really use English. We often joke about how we learn. We learn deaf and mute English. We don't know what people are talking. We don't know how to speak it. Okay, so that's the reason why we have this kind of bilingual class. So for today's class, I noticed one thing. Okay, this is the main thing that I would like to pay my feedback on is that our local teacher Bonnie. Okay, I think she's done a very good job in instructing one student at a time. Okay, or one group at a time. But oftentimes I notice that it's in Chinese. That's one thing. And then another is that sometimes you're forced to use some kind of translation in the class, right? I think that's mainly because of several reasons, okay? One is that we might need more scaffolding before doing any activity. For example, if you are doing activity one, right? Activity one, maybe you have to do it first, the chart, right? The chart. Maybe both teachers, you can demo first. Okay, scaffolding first step. Teachers, we demo. Okay, we demo first, and then second step, I ask some of the students to come out and demo with me. Okay, that's what we do. We do it together, and then the students do it. If you do that, they will not be what am I going to do now? I know, right? Okay, if you do this scaffolding, okay, before activities, okay, that might help. Okay, that might help. That's one thing. And then another thing is that we might need pictures to go with the words like reuse, recycle, and reduce. Okay, they know what's going on there. They know what to do for each words, but they are sometimes confused. What is it now? Is it reuse or reduce? They are sometimes confused. So maybe put a picture with recycle along with the word recycle. That will help them understand, you're asking about recycle, or recycle is this thing, okay? It's the word they are confused. It's not the concept they are confused about, okay? So the picture, and then the questions. As the questions sometimes a bit difficult, right? For example, what do you see in the video? Okay, what do you see in the video? Okay, one student raised his hand and said, some bottles, right? But how do I get most of the students to raise their hands and answer me? Maybe you can ask them, okay, use the PowerPoint. Did you see this? Yes or no? Did you see that? Yes or no? Maybe use this kind of way to interact with your students. Most of them can answer you if you are doing it this way. Okay? And maybe what did they do after they drink the bottle? Why use the bottle, right? Why use the bottle? So that's another difficult question for the students. So maybe you can just ask them, okay, because one picture is drinking the bottle, maybe another picture is doing another thing with the bottle. So they can choose from the two pictures, okay? We want all the students to have the chance to know what the question is and think about the question. Okay, so this is a way, okay, to help our students understand us more and also participate in the class more. And maybe give them more examples first. For example, in the other activity, okay, the one in between, okay, you ask them to pick one item, okay, and think about how to reuse it, right? Okay, but they seem not to have the chance to present it, right? Okay, so maybe show them some examples first. For example, I will show them, okay, this one item, I would how to do it so I can reuse this item. Okay, show them some examples first and then ask them to discuss it in groups and maybe give them iPads so that they can search for the picture they want to show about how they would reuse the item you gave them. Okay, maybe that's one way to go, I don't know. Okay, so give them what, but for sure is that you have to give them more examples first so that they know what the task is. Okay, that's one. And also, maybe one instruction, one action, and one check. For example, you ask them to fold. Okay, fold. Okay, that's one instruction. Okay, teacher asks them to fold. Okay, you do it, and then you check if the students are doing it properly. And then you do the next step, fold again. Okay, and the students fold again, and then you check. So one instruction, one action, one check. Okay. do it step by step. Okay, I know you don't have enough time for today. That's why it seems like you're rushing today. But why not? Why not cut the class into maybe 2 classes or 3 classes even? You know, maybe do the craft for the next class. That way you will have plenty of time for them to discuss all the things you want, right?
What we normally do.
Yes, yes, and you will have the chance to show them first, right? So they don't get confused here, okay? Or maybe even you cut the classes into 1 class for reuse, 1 class for recycle, and 1 class for reduce, right? Maybe this way they won't confuse with all the words here. They just learned about reuse today, okay? So that's the main suggestion I have to come today. For cutting down the translation, you don't actually need it, okay? Mainly because you're Russian, okay? So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
大家好，那我在这里主要是看行政这一块嘛，哈。那刚才课程教学的部分，大家都有提到。那我想说，先从课程的角度来讲。那我觉得我们今天在场的几所学校，三光来的，对，还有我们内海、清源，有没有念到？竹尾，还有潮音嘛，哈。我觉得高荣啊，我觉得今天来这里运气非常的好哦。在校长的领导下，他主任还有他的优质团队，我看这课程呢是，我觉得看出来是最完整的。我让我去看哦，先跟大家看一下，看这一节课，然后再去对课程有没有课程的架构里面有没有这一节课。哦，那我去对它都有，所以在这个课程里面这么严谨的架构里面，我想今天所有的人来呢，都应该，假如可以的话，跟他要一本去做参考哦，可以这样子。那另外一个，我觉得还有一个蛮重要的一个点，大概主任简报里面，不晓得大家有没有发现到，就是我们每一位新进的老师哈，都可以很快的从原来留下来资料里面进入到我们8年的课程。我觉得这件事就永续性哦是非常重要的。那大家回去哦可以作为一个参考。那另外一个我在看课程与教学的时候，第一个当然是看课程啊，第二个教学的部分看，我们的这个教案你会问一个问题，就是说这一节课结束以后，教学目标有没有达成？这件事当然是非常的重要。那我在这里就特别跟大家提醒一下，我们这教我觉得写得蛮不错的，有特别提到那个教学目标写认知及技能。那在我们的外师的教案里面比较少这样，那我觉得是非常的完整，大家只要带回去也可以做参考。有一个目标，其实我们在写教案都要写这个目标啊，但是各位有没有发现，我们参加外师的比较少这样，那就大家带回去参考。好，那接下来我要提的就是我们有一个小宣导，我们的那个行政啊，大家看一下。那我们这里有所有各校可以带回去哦，可以带回去做参考。哦，那这个谁在播？帮忙一下那个。播放。帮我播放就好。好，那可以带回去参考。那各校会有状况，各种条件不一。那我们在双语办公室这里面，我们的辅导团有提供非常多的教材，还有线上这个 ABC 哈，还有外师教绘本、读绘本。那我看我们学校巴黎这边都有参与哦，而且成绩都蛮不错的，还参加各种的超厉害的哈、哦，所以大家回去哦，真的可以以巴黎为典范哦，做这个典范学习哦，真的可以这样子。好，直接播好了。那另外一个你就按下去直接播。有直接跑嘛？有啊，
现在跑了，
有在跑。那里面有一些是我们双语创新学校或者亮点学校做的一些事啊，大家可以参考有在做什么。像比如说，我们可以透过教笔友的方式，我们老师可以去参加进修，或是说我们进行国际教育跟隔壁学校的联系，或是说跟国外的学校做国际的交流。或是当笔友，就这些方式哦，都还蛮不错的哦。那各位可以带回去参考。那这一个，我想大家就是了解一下哦，那可以善加的利用。 好，那今天在巴黎话真的非常感谢校长跟我们社团队的这个在这美好的环境里面大家有一个非常赏心悦目的一个下午，我相信大家都有收获。我们把好的带回去然后深耕让我们的双语教育能够发扬茁壮。好，谢谢。
谢谢。谢谢我们安邦校长，还有我们的可珍秘书长，还有我们的双语办公室的推动的志颖老师，以及今天参加的所有的伙伴。确实，巴黎国小呢，就是在我们参与双语课程，其实已经一段时间。那因为我们是小学校，我们的人员也不是这么的多，而且我们也很清楚的知道，我们的人员一直在替换。所以呢，其实从我开始，就是我们后来大概就是这几年大概已经有3、4年、4、5年的时间，其实我都要求我们所有外师的教案跟他的简报档，通通都要留存。我通通都有留存所以包含从Grace 之前的外师，然后在这个之前的那个 Brittany 的那个外师，其实大概从那时候开始，我们所有的他上课的教案跟简报档，通通都会留下来。然后这几年我们又开始尝试，因为我们就发现小朋友的作品就是真的是像我们做的艺术作品就是真的是还蛮不错的。所以现在我也已经尝试，我们针对个人，其实我学校大概200多位学生。那我们现在已经开始针对每一个小朋友个人化的，我们就把他所有的他的这一些作品都保留下来。然后我希望他在他6年级毕业的时候，我可以把这一片光碟片送给他。那这是我们大家从这2年开始在做这一件事。那所有的这些东西都是希望说这一件事情它是可以永续，不管是哪一个老师来，哪一个行政来，哪一个外师来，其实他都有所本。就是他不会是比如说因为他不了解不懂，然后他就完全不知道，他那个摸索的时间就可以减少他摸索的时间那这部分呢，我们也一直持续在做，然后也很感谢双语办公室包含可珍的那个秘书长，还有我们所有的双语的团队，他们其实都一直很支持我们巴黎国小。那我们巴黎国小其实在双语这个部分的发展，除了说像这个双语课程，其实因为我们把它列为是我们自己学校的一个重点，所以其实只要跟双语相关，比如说什么Q&A的这比赛，我们的学生每一次得奖的，当然看我们才只有大概200个学生，我们每一次得奖大概都有奖金，有时候都有100个，真的。所以我们的小朋友他们的礼，我都常开玩笑跟他们讲，我说校长长那么大了，有教育部的奖状1张都没有领过，他们现在是真的就是常常领到可能都已经不要的因为真的就是像他的那个Q&A的领取的，不管是音听网、音乐网、什么资安网，我们的小朋友们都会 push 他去参加这个竞赛，然后包含我们自己现在就是双语办公室在推动的那个叫什么？英语角色
那个线上认证。
对，线上认证的这个部分，我们的学生也都是很积极参与。那实际上呢，就看到小朋友通过率也很高，那这都是一个给小朋友他们去检核。那这2年我们又开始就是做拔尖，做拔尖的，所以呢，我们这2年都开始跟我们小朋友参加那个全民英检的初级的认证。那其实我们真的感觉还蛮骄傲的，是我们的小朋友是真的很优秀。到现在，我们从参加到现在，我们已经有26个小朋友，我们这个小学校已经有26个小朋友是通过全民英检的初级，那个已经是相当于国中的那个毕业程度了。所以其实这对小朋友他们来讲也是一种，他们也可以建立他们自己的自信心。然后对我们学校来讲，其实我觉得那也是一个参考的指标。我们做了这么多事，到底有什么东西我们可以拿出来告诉人家说，我们真的是一直在营造，然后一直在给小朋友机会，然后从这个当中呢，小朋友确实也获得的东西。那就是这一点小小跟大家分享。对，那今天其实我们 Grace 老师他确实是，我们是想要在很短的时间就让大家看到很完整的东西，所以确实他的东西就有一点点多，然后就会时间有一些的赶。所以刚刚可珍老师，可珍秘书长所建议的这些，我觉得也是蛮好的。我们可能可以把它分成2节、3节课来完成，那应该就会可以小朋友就会进行的，就是说他可以呢，就是说更全面性的来在这个课程上面呢有一些学习那以上就是谢谢，还是非常感谢各位老师。那因为时间的关系，因为等一下我们要放学，所以如果各位老师你想要赶在我们学生放学离开前 就是放学前，那你就可以呢，就是可能大家动作就要快一点，不然就稍微留下来。就晚一点点，因为我们学生也不多，其实我们只是说今天是大放学，对啊，也不多，大概10几分钟就放完了，对，大概就是这样子。谢谢大家，感谢。
谢谢。那感谢大家今天的参与哦。那待会麻烦我们的中外师请留下你们的那个回馈表。那我们也准备了伴手礼要送给大家，好，那就请大家感谢大家今天的出席。那我最后一句话，其实前几天才有家长跟我分享。因为我们小朋友常参加对外的活动，他就说，补习班说你们巴黎国小真的是很认真在推动子女，这个家长们也努力告诉我的，那真的是我们就是真的是我们大家都很努力的耕耘在双语的这个路上，那也希望大家都有意见，然后让我们可以越来越好，谢谢大家，
谢谢。
真的吗？
OK， 结果分享给送。